guys, welcome to another tutorial on this channel. If you're new here, I'm Valerie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel we'll make sewing tutorials and DIY videos on fashion, and if that's something you're interested in, please stick around, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you get notified anytime I post a new video. So today we're going to be making a hair bonnet. So it's basically a head cover for when you want to sleep and all of that, when you're indoors and you want to put your hair into something so it doesn't disturb you while you go about your day. So today we are going to be making that, and it's quite simple. It's also beginner friendly. So we're going to be needing our elastic, we're going to be needing our safety pin to pass in the elastic, and then we're going to be needing our scissors, we're going to be needing thread, we're going to be needing our tape for marking, for taking measurements, and then we're going to need our chalk for marking. Always make sure your chalk is visible on your fabric so that you'll be able to see your markings. So guys, the material I'm going to be using for this tutorial is a doll face and an Ankara fabric, and this bonnet is reversible, so you could wear any side out. So we're going to go to how to fold it. We're going to fold it as I am doing here. You're just going to take two ends. This fabric measurement is 28 by 28, or you could go higher or lesser, but mine is 28 by 28 because it's just right for the measurements I need. So you see me folding it this way. I folded it inwards like this, and then I folded from the other end to meet the other end, and that's just basically how you fold for a full circle skirt. The same procedure, the same method, the same measurement, criteria and everything. So we're just going to do that to our black fabric too. So now that we have this folded, we're just going to place them on top of each other like this, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to press it down with an iron so that we're not going to lose our lines, and those lines will also help us when we are pinning it together. So I'm just going to iron it down, and then I'm going to start marking. So the measurements I'm using for this bonnet is 12 inches. I'm using 12 inches in length because I don't want my bonnet to be so big. But if you want the big size, you could use anywhere from 14 to 15 inches, even 16 inches if you want the very big size, the dramatic one. But for the big size, I suggest 15 inches is fine. But for mine, I used 12 inches for this tutorial, so that I'll get 1 inch out. That's the gather effect at the front there. That's what I'm going to use, 1 inch out, and the rest is just going to go into the bonnet itself. So now I'm marking it down. Make sure your tape is slanted from that point to wherever you want your measurement to be, or to whatever measurement you pick. Make sure it's slanted from that point, and then we're going to mark it all the way around. Now we're going to connect this circle, and then we're going to go ahead and cut it out after connecting the circle. Okay, now that we have our fabric cut out, we're just going to go ahead and lay them on top of each other, front facing. We're going to lay them down, and then we're going to pin them down. We're going to lay them down. Make sure the lines are touching each other. You see the importance of the lines that we ironed in earlier. So we're just going to lay them down like this. Make sure the lines are corresponding, and then we're going to use our pins and hold them down. And then we're going to take it to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew it down. So guys, now we're going to sew we're going to join our fabric together with 1/2 inch all the way around, but we're going to leave some space, like 1.5 inch space or 2 inches, 1.5 or 2 inches space. So guys, now I'm going to go ahead and turn our bonnet out. I'm going to go ahead and drag it out like you see me doing. So I'll drag it until everything is out. You keep dragging it. Be careful so that your thread do not snap. Just be careful and be patient with it, and everything will come out in time. Now I'm going to go to my ironing board and I'm going to iron out the edges. I'm done ironing now, and I've marked out my allowance for sewing. So I marked out 2 lines. The first one, this one down here, is just for the base and to like create a channel for our elastic to pass through, while this second one is for the gather effect that is at the front there. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew on the first line, the top line. Guys, as you're approaching where you started stitching, make sure you leave like 2 inches space for space to pass elastic. So now I'm going to go ahead and sew on the second line to create the channel for our elastic. For elastic, I measured around my head and I got 22 inches. That's like the standard measurement, 20 or 23 inches. When you get your measurement after measuring around your head, you remove 3 inches from it, 3 or 2 inches from it, and you cut it out on your elastic. That's how you get the measurement for the elastic. So now I'm going to pass this elastic through the channel I created, as you see me doing here. I'm just going to pass it through the channel all the way to the end, and then I'm going to join both of them together. So now that it's out, I'm going to join the 2 elastic together by putting them on top of each other and placing it under my sewing machine, and then I'll go over it like 6 times so that my joining will be firm. So I'm just using my hand to, like, push out the gathers I've created. So I'm just going to place them on top of each other like this, and I'm going to sew it down. Now after sewing it down, I'm going to push it inside, and I'm going to cover that space that I left the first time for my channel. Now that our elastic is in, we can close it back. So I'm just going to do that here now. Now I'm going to make an invisible stitch to close that opening. As you see me doing here, I have my needle and my thread, and I'm just going to push the knotted part of my thread. I'm going to push it into the opening so that I will be able to hide my knots. I'm just going to push it into the opening and then hold it down, and I'm going to start sewing. So this process is basically you push
one, you push your needle into one side of the fabric. Make sure it's not visible on the other end, just one side, the folded part. Make sure it's not visible at the front. So you're going to push it through one end, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, as you see me doing here. On the other side of the doll face, make sure your needle is not, going through to the other side. So you're just going to do that basically, and you're going to go from left to right, from left to right. You're just going to grab both fabrics with your needle and your thread, and that's how you do it till the end. And that's just how you cover this type of opening. You could use it for the, after turning maybe your corset or something. It's just like for neat finishing. Anytime you want to do a neat finishing that you don't have to top stitch or like sew on top to cover it, and you have the time, you could just do this and then iron it down, and it will look like it will look very perfect. It will come out very neat. So now I'm just going to tie the end. So that's it, guys. We've come to the end of this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to input a short clip at the end to show us how this bonnet came out, and trust me, it was really beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys.